Hello and welcome to Tarot Arts Anjali. In today's bigger card reading, we'll be looking at all the blessings, opportunities coming for you in the month of November, along with specific messages in love and career. We have three piles in front of us, and you can take a moment, pick any pile that you feel drawn to the most. For pile number one, we have this green stone. For pile two, this orange stone, and for pile three, this purple stone, and all the timestamps are in the description below, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, pile number one, and welcome to your reading. In today's reading, we're looking at all the messages and blessings for the month of November, including some specific messages in love and career. And this is a reading for the collective, so take only the messages that resonate, and all the details for booking a personal reading with me are in the description below. So, Spirit, what messages do we have for pile number one for the month of November? Messages for pile number one for the month of November. Spirit, what messages does pile number one need to know? All right, so what I can see in your cards is we're starting off with two pentacles cards. So this tells me that maybe for the month of November, one significant area of your focus could be in your career, in your academic or professional life, and just in general working on establishing your stability, your security, and working towards that. And we also have the Two of Cups card here. So it tells me that both in the areas of love and career, there are important changes taking place in your life for the month of November, and there are a lot of blessings coming your way. So, starting off with the Ace of Pentacles card, I can see here that maybe some of you have recently made a new move or you've had a new beginning in terms of your career. This could either be starting a new job, starting a new course of study, moving somewhere else to start something of your own. Maybe that has been something that you've already done, you've already had this new beginning, or maybe that's coming for you in the month of November. And what I'm seeing here with this Ace of Pentacles is that it's immediately followed by the Nine of Pentacles card. So here I can see that for a lot of you, pile number one, you've had a new beginning recently, or there is something that you've invested your efforts into. You've been putting all your hard work into an area of your life, and now finally it's bearing all fruits. You're getting your desired results. It's a moment for celebration, and I can also see that the overall month of November is going to be very joyous. There's a lot of celebration that's coming your way. However, there's just one advice or word of caution that's coming for you for the month of November with this Four of Swords card here. So, what I'm seeing here is the Four of Swords, it always gives a message for giving yourself a little moment of rest and giving yourself some time to recuperate, to rejuvenate yourself before you step into a new chapter in your life. So, what I can see here is for a lot of you in pile number one, you've had this new start, this fresh start. You've been investing and pouring all your energy into something, and you're even getting your desired results. And if those results haven't come in yet, then just have patience for a little while, because that success is definitely yours. So, that abundance, that this bright energy of prosperity is soon entering your life. But one thing that you need at this moment with this Four of Swords is a little period of rest. And if you see, there's also this image of a heart in this card, and this always gives me a message about taking a moment to just let your heart also heal and give yourself some time to process all this effort and energy that you've spent into whatever you've been doing so far. And I get another confirmation about blessings coming your way with this Four of Wands card, because this is always about some form of celebration. You're celebrating a success, a victory. So now this could either be in the form of celebrating a, maybe if you're in a job, then maybe it's a promotion that you're celebrating, or you've been applying for things and now you're finally getting your desired outcome. So you've been accepted into a course, into a job, and now you have this period of celebrating this joy with others around. And one more thing that I'm seeing here, because we also have this Two of Cups card here, so this always tells me that it's a bright moment for new connections, new partnerships, and truly pouring your love and energy into something that sustains you also. So, sometimes we, whether it's a job or a relationship, we keep pouring our energies into it, but we don't get our desired results in return, or the efforts aren't reciprocated. But with the Two of Cups, there's a beautiful energy of this mutual give and take. What you're pouring into your career, you're getting that back in terms of recognition, in terms of this, whatever this is, that's leading to a moment of celebration. And when it comes to your relationship, I'm also seeing this beautiful moment of being truly loved and accepted and having this true sense of belonging with someone. So, just one word of caution, because we had the Four of Swords. So, whenever you find yourself that you're thinking that you've been putting all these efforts but the results aren't coming your way, and that might lead to a little bit of disheartenment in the beginning, or you might feel that all your efforts, they're not really paying off. So with the Four of Swords, the message here is to just have a little bit of patience with yourself and with also the universe, because it's truly preparing you to enjoy all these blessings when they'll come your way. And if you ever find yourself thinking, if if you've had a yes or no question about the month of November, for example, should I start this new thing in my career, or should I approach this person, then there is a very clear yes answer that I'm seeing in your reading, because you're getting all your desired results, you're having this moment of celebration, and you're also finding beautiful partnerships and connections. And I also have some more specific messages for you. So I have these two cards here which are going to tell us about the month of November and some general blessings and guidance. So for you, we have the full moon in Capricorn and the sun. So these are some general messages that are going to tell us about some overall energies for the month of November. Now, the full moon in Capricorn, as the card also says here, that the end of a tough cycle approaches. So, this card gives me a very clear message that if there's any difficulty that you've been facing, or if there's any challenge that you've had to endure, and maybe that's why we have this Four of Swords card here, because you might have been putting in a lot of effort in one specific area of your life, and maybe in the past it hasn't given you your desired results. So, there has been a moment of uncertainty or doubt whether your efforts are going to pay off or not, or whether this period of difficulty is going to end or not. And this card here is a very big yes for you, that yes, whatever hard work you've been putting in so far is giving you your desired results. If there has been any period of difficulty, then that is definitely coming to an end, and that is further confirmed by the sun card here, because even the sun shows this moment of a bright energy, this prosperity coming into your life, whether it's in terms of your career or your love. And this, the sun is always a moment that, it comes after a period of darkness. After a period of dark night is when we have this brightness of the sun. So both of these cards coming together for your general energies for the month of November tell me that there's a lot of blessings coming your way. Old patterns, old cycles, or old periods of difficulties are also coming to an end. And you know what I'm also seeing for some of you? We had the Ace of Pentacles immediately followed by the Nine of Pentacles. So that gives me an energy that maybe in your work aspect, in your career aspect, if there was a specific project that you were a part of, or if there was something specific that had a deadline approaching soon. So for that, I'm seeing that that period of stress is now going to end, and you will finally be able to celebrate and enjoy the victories of whatever it is that you were working on for these past couple of months. And the sun is also a bright energy about any form of doubts that were present in your mind, or any kinds of fears that were present about the results of a specific situation. So that is giving me a big yes, that all your results are going to be in your favor, the outcomes are going to be in your favor. And because this card also talks about a tough cycle, so it's kind of also, I'm called to ask you to also give yourself again this moment of rest, because when we've been in this tough cycle in this period for a while, it becomes difficult for us to see the end of it, or to see the, almost like the light at the end of the tunnel. It becomes difficult for us to see that while we're still in that darkness. So remind yourself that this period of stress and worry is not going to last forever. It is ending on a very positive note for you, and there is going to be this immense period of joy and celebration coming forth for you. And the next cards that we have for you is about messages in terms of love. So for you, pile number one, we have full moon in Aquarius and the 10 of cups, and both of these are really very encouraging cards to come up for you for in terms of love. So with the full moon in Aquarius, this card says show the world the real you. So what I'm seeing here is this period of authenticity that is coming up. So sometimes when we are trying to pursue a person, or we're trying to attract someone into our lives, so initially we might be in this period of um, trying to impress them or being a certain way so that they like us back, and then we see that we're doing everything we can to attract that person, but we're not getting our desired results. So with this full moon in Aquarius and this card saying show the world the real you, this gives me this message of authenticity, of understanding your own values, and also understanding that you have this immense potential within you. You are someone who's very attractive and who has a lot to offer to anyone who you pour your love into, and you're trying to manifest a connection with someone. So this is a little bit of a moment for you to rest and reflect and see if you have truly been yourself in the connection so far, and if there's any insecurities or doubts about whether the other person will accept you or not, or if questions about whether the other person is even attracted to you or not. So with the full moon in Aquarius, I'm seeing that if you are your authentic self, then other people will also see your value, and then you wouldn't even have to do anything extra or go an extra mile just to impress someone. All you have to do is just be yourself, and you'll see even other people around you, or any person, specific person that you're trying to manifest, even they would see who you are, and they would appreciate you for who you are. And with this 10 of cups, this is just a further confirmation and a big yes in terms of positive outcomes for you in terms of love, because in the traditional rider waite imagery, the 10 card shows this beautiful partnership, this couple, this family, and a beautiful rainbow in that card. And that card always gives me this image of all your desired outcomes coming into fruition, all your blessings are finally being answered. And specifically in terms of love, I see a beautiful partnership developing, and that's exactly what we saw with the two of cups card here, that you're finally getting in touch with someone who is truly fulfilling all your needs. You're experiencing this sense of belongingness with that person, and it's a very positive time for you to also, with this moment of rest, as I was saying, that if you've constantly been trying to manifest a certain connection, or maybe if it hasn't been going in the way that you desire, then if you give yourself this period of rest, if you allow yourself a little while of authenticity, that's when you'll truly begin to appreciate um, your own power, everything about you that attracts another person. And it would almost seem effortless in this specific connection, that you're just being yourself, and that is enough for someone else to appreciate who you are, to have this sort of connection with you. And also because we've had two full moon cards so far, so that's always about, and it's interesting, we start with the ace and now we have two full moon in your energy. So that always tells me that whatever you've started, or whatever you've been pouring your energies into, it's coming into a full cycle of completion. And that sense of completion is very strong for you, pile number one, in the month of November, that whatever efforts you've been putting in, whatever you've been trying to manifest, that's coming a full circle. You're getting all your desired results. And another message that we get with the full moon is also about letting something go, because full moon is always a time for some kind of release. So with the end of a tough cycle, we saw that this specific release is happening in terms of letting go of whatever this difficult stage or phase of your life that has been worrying you for a little while. And with the full moon in Aquarius, show the world the real you. It might also be time to, as I was saying, that has there been a connection in the past where you weren't able to be yourself because the other person wasn't accepting the real you, so you had to put up a front, and this card here is asking you to be your authentic self. And when you are your real self, if there are people who choose to um leave your life, then maybe it's time to let go of them. So, with this card, I'm also getting a message that for some of you in pile number one, if there is a specific connection that you have been holding on to, because you feel that if you let go of this person, then you would be by yourself, and you are also afraid if you even find a connection that is so fulfilling in the future. So there the message is that if you find something that's not serving you anymore, or a connection that is not keeping you happy, or maybe a connection where you're not even able to be yourself, and you're not able to show your authentic self to this person, so maybe this is the time to let go of that connection, or to let go. And it doesn't even have to be anything romantic specifically, it could even be in terms of friendships or partnerships, collaborations, anything of that sort, where you feel that instead of adding on to your life, that connection is taking something away, it's taking your authenticity away. So now it's the time to ask yourself that what is it that you have to let go of. And once you let go of that connection, that person, that situation, and you are your authentic self, then this two of cups moment is definitely entering your life. And one more thing with this full moon in Aquarius is also about friendship. So maybe in the coming month of November, there could be a friend who is approaching you or who needs you, and you are able to be there for that friend. And what I was saying earlier with this Four of Wands energy, so uh, if for some of you you are not in a phase of romantic connections, or if that's not what you're trying to manifest, or that's not your energies at the moment, then this cups card and this Four of Wands could just be about this very fulfilling moment with a friend. Maybe you're celebrating something together, you're going out, you're just having this heart to heart conversation with them, or maybe your friend is in the position who needs your help. And I'm seeing that in the month of November you are going to be there for them, because you are relatively in a position where things are working out for you, things are favorable for you. And one more thing that I always see with the with cups cards is you can pour into someone else's cup only when yours is full. And because we have the 10 of cups card here, I see that for the month of November, in terms of your emotional energies, this cups card within you, this element of joy and celebration and matters of the heart, I see that you're feeling very fulfilled. And once your cup is full, you are able to pour into others. And so maybe if there's a friend who is at a phase where their cup is relatively drained, or maybe they have experienced a heartbreak recently, so I see that you are able to be there for that person. And one specific message that I got for pile number one, and it may resonate only for a couple of you, is maybe there's a celebration that you're going to with your friend. It could be a party, a concert, or anything, or any social event of that sort where you're going and celebrating. And even though your intention wasn't to meet anyone, but maybe after that party, that celebration, or whatever it is that you're going out for, maybe through that you're able to meet someone else, or develop this connection with someone, or just a new person enters your life. So be open to any cause of celebration, going out. If that's something that you already resonate with, then maybe that could be a positive sign for you that a connection is developing. And next, we'll see some specific messages for you in terms of career. So we have these two cards for you. And for you in career, we have New Moon in Aquarius and the Three of Swords. So these cards, especially the New Moon in Aquarius, so the card here says, bring love into the situation. And surprisingly, the The Three of Swords is, if you know the traditional Rider Waite imagery, the Three of Swords always has a message of heartbreak or being a little bit disappointed, disheartened. And now we have a new moon coming here. So, new moon is always a time of fresh beginnings, a fresh start. So, maybe, as I was saying, in career for some of you, because we're starting with the Ace of Pentacles, so maybe for some of you, this new beginning has already happened. You've already had this fresh start. But for others, maybe you are now leaving something behind. You are letting go of something that doesn't serve you anymore. It could be a career, a profession, a specific role, or a course that you're doing, or something of that sort, which is not fulfilling you anymore. It's not making you happy, and instead it's just draining all your energies. So maybe in the month of November, you are letting go of that situation. You are finding something else, a new opportunity for the month of November, and that is what the Ace of Pentacles could be talking about. So, if you are asking this question, that should I let go of my current job situation? And if in that situation there is a little bit of heartbreak, or there is a sense of disappointment, or things not working in your favor, and if even intuitively you know that this is not right for you, then maybe the answer is yes, that yes, you have to let go of something, you have to let go of this situation, of this job that's not serving you anymore. And maybe if there is a fear that if I let go of this opportunity, will I even find success in something else? So even for that, there is blessings in your way, that we have this Ace of Pentacles immediately followed by the Nine of Pentacles, which tells me that yes, definitely, if you let go of something that's not serving you and you have this fresh start, you'll get all your blessings, you'll get all your desired results. And also with the new moon in Aquarius, one major message with this card is about, this card says that no looking back, and there is a change that's coming in your life, and it could be happening very quickly. So with this card, I see that because we have a new moon, so it's a fresh start, a fresh beginning, and it's time to not look back at what is not serving you anymore. So if in your career, in your job, in your education, whatever it is, if there has been a period of disappointment, so now you have to recognize how can you leave that behind you and step into something entirely new. And now a couple of more messages, and take these as they resonate. But for some of you, I'm seeing that maybe it is time to let go of a work situation, a job, or a career situation where you have been working within a team or with others, and it's that specific team or those people who are not serving you anymore, or they're just causing disappointment for you. So maybe it might be time to let go of that situation for a little while and step into something where you're working independently, you're working on your own for a little while. And take this message if it resonates. And for some of you, I'm also seeing that sometimes we are in a work setting where there are rules set from outside, that there are certain things that we have to follow or that we need to do. And even if it doesn't, that way of working, whether it's something conventional, something traditional, or in some situations, even though there is an easier way of doing things, there is so much technology around, there are a lot of easier ways of getting tasks done. But if in your specific career or job situations, people are still doing things the old way, and or maybe it's not just the way that things are done, but the values of the organization, company, institute, whatever it is, if those itself are something that's conventional and you don't resonate with them anymore, so now it's also time to think about how can you step into something new where your own values, your beliefs are being aligned with what the company or the institute also believes in. And that's why it says bring love into the situation. So this is always about listening to your heart. What does your heart say when you, maybe if you have multiple options at the moment, or you're asking about should I leave or not, then maybe just tune in a little bit. And again, this is very much connecting to the Four of Swords energy, that give yourself a little period of time and rest, and also listen to your heart. What does your heart say about this situation? Does your heart feel fulfilled in the position that you're in right now, or does it see a better opportunity for you? So this might be a message for some of you, that it's time to let go of a current job situation because it's just not satisfying your heart anymore, or you're not aligned with the way things are done, with the way things are happening, the values and beliefs in that particular situation, and you just want to separate from that situation and start something of your own, start something independently. So maybe this could be a time to connect with that. And one more thing for you, pile number one, there is also this message of balance that is coming for you, because this card here says bring love into the situation. So you have to honor your feelings, how your heart is feeling about the situation. And at the same time, we also have the swords card. And in fact, Aquarius is also an air sign, and both of these cards representing this air energy, it also gives me this sense of also tapping into this intellectual strength within you and thinking from your head and also your heart. So how can you achieve that balance? So yes, you have to think about, what I was saying earlier, that does this current situation, is it fulfilling your heart, is it feeling right for you? And at the same time, what I was also saying, that maybe in your current job or career situation, you're not happy with the way things are done, or you see a better way of the same thing being done somewhere else. And there I'm seeing this message that you need to honor your own intellectual wisdom. And one thing that I'm seeing is maybe right now you are in a job or career situation which is, how do I say this? So maybe some of you are overqualified for what you're doing. So you are performing very well in your current situation, in your job circumstances, but still there is this sense of disappointment that we see with the three of swords. And you might be having this question that I'm good at what I'm doing, I'm getting all the tasks done, then why am I still feeling this sense of disappointment? And that might be because intellectually you're not challenged enough in the current circumstance, in the current situation. So you want something that truly honors your intellect a bit more, that challenges you in the right ways, and it truly feels like a fulfilling career. So maybe for some of you, you might be letting go of a certain job situation either because it's not serving you anymore, the people around aren't too helpful or effective for you, and for some of you, you're not aligning with the beliefs or values of this particular work or career setup, and for others, this specific situation is just not challenging you enough, or your intellectual powers aren't truly being utilized. So take this month of November in terms of your career to just give yourself a bit of time to reflect on how things have been so far, and if there is a change that has to be made, because we saw in your general messages and in your love messages both full moon cards coming. So that tells me that at least in these aspects of your lives, things are coming full circle, you're getting your desired results. But when it comes to your career, there is a little bit of a need to see what is it that you have to let go of, and what new setting that you are going to step into. And now we'll come to your final card, which is this archetype card. And for you, pile number one, we have this ring card here. There are a lot of different messages that are coming forth with this card. So, one thing could be like a very direct message that maybe this two of cups moment that's happening for you, it could be about a more committed relationship, that you're entering a sense of committing to someone and making this promise about being together and things like that. So that could be, if that's a stage that you're at, then this could be a clear confirmation that your relationship is leveling up to that next level of commitment. And for others, this ring has this image of this circularity, which always gives us this sense of our life's journey, our trajectory not being something linear, rather, it has its own ups and downs. And that sense of ups and downs is something that we're seeing clearly in your reading, because we have both these very opposite extreme energies of the full moons as well as the new moon. So, in some sense, some new cycle is beginning, whereas some other cycle might be ending. So make sure that you are in a state of balance to be able to appreciate the new beginning, understanding what it is that you have to let go of, and also celebrating whatever this full circle moment has been for you. So the ring gives us this message of knowing when an ending has to take place. So what I was saying earlier, in both the career as well as love situation, that is there a specific situation that you have to let go of, something that represents an old you. So, what I'm seeing here is for pile number one, I see a lot of personal growth and development that you've experienced in this entire past year, and a lot of changes have taken place for you. You might also have grown and evolved into a different person. So if you were to look back at the version of yourself from the start of this year, you might not even recognize who you were. And as we grow, as we evolve, our needs, our expectations keep changing. So we have to honor these changes, and we can't keep staying in the old cycle being our even though we have evolved into this new versions of ourselves. So maybe now it's time to consider if there is a specific relationship that you have been a part of, or a connection where you've grown personally and you've changed, but to be with that person, you are, what I was saying with the message of authenticity here, that you are not able to be your grown and evolved self. So maybe it might be time to let go of that specific connection and to step into something new. And it's only when you let go of the old can you open up your energies for this new connection, new partnerships to enter your life. And if you are already in a fulfilling connection, then maybe what you have to let go of is just an idea about how you viewed connections or relationships in the past, and then seeing that how this current connection, how this chapter can be taken forward into a new level of commitment, and what would that require, what changes would have to take place when you're stepping into this new chapter of your life. And even in terms of your career, it's the same message about what I was saying, that maybe your values, your beliefs aren't aligning with the path that you're on currently. And maybe that, you're questioning that I chose this path and I resonated with this earlier, but now I'm feeling this sense of disappointment. Then that may just be because you have gone through certain changes, you have evolved, and now your expectations have also changed. So now it's time to honor those changes and then step into something else which will fulfill the desires of this new version of yourself. So, pile number one, this is where I want to end your reading. And the main message here has been that there is a lot of growth taking place for you in the month of November. And not just in this specific month, but I see that you've gone through this period of change for the entire year so far, and now you're getting your desired results. You just need to take a moment to look back at who you were at the beginning of this year and who you are now. And is your external reality, are your connections, your friendships, your romantic partnerships, your career path, are they all aligned with this new grown and developed version of yourself? And once you give yourself this little period of reflection, after that I see there's this immense possibility of celebration, of enjoyment, of positive connections, this sun moment of this bright energy coming after darkness, this sense of emotional fulfillment that we have here, letting go of things from the past that don't serve us anymore. So I wish you all a very happy and fulfilling month of November, pile number one. Thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel if this reading resonated, and I'll see you in my next reading. Bye bye. Hello, and welcome to your reading pile number two. In today's reading, we're looking at all the blessings coming for you for the month of November, and then some specific messages for love and career as well. So make sure to stay till the end. And remember, this is a reading for the collective, so take only the messages that resonate. And all details about booking a personal reading with me are in the description below. So, Spirit, what messages, guidance, blessings do we have for pile number two for the month of November? All right, pile number two. So, what I can see in your energies is that we have so much. First of all, I just want to point out that the number of cards that have come up with this female figure in the cards. And remember, when we're talking about this energy of divine feminine, it doesn't have to do with the gender that you identify as in this lifetime. It's just the divine feminine energy, this aspect that is present within all of us, which has to do with nurturing something, pouring our love and energy into something and then seeing that grow. And what I'm seeing for you, pile number two, is that for the month of November, there is a lot of this aspect of pouring your creative powers, your energies, and then seeing something grow into its fullest potential. What I'm seeing for some of you in this pile is either you've already experience this change that we see with the two of wands here. So maybe you've recently made a decision to move somewhere else. You've started a new job, you've stepped into a new opportunity, maybe you've traveled for work or studies, or there's just something of a fresh start that you've stepped into. And for some of you, this could be something that has already happened. This change has already taken place for you, and now you are in this energy of two of wands, where you are in a little bit of a state of waiting around to see your desired outcomes. Or right now there is less emphasis on taking this very quick action, rather just waiting to see how things evolve, waiting to see how the decision that you've made, how is that panning out, what results are you getting in return. And for some of you, I also see this as a crucial stage in your life where you are for your future. You are in between certain choices. So, one possible choice that you could be faced with, whether that is a decision that you've already taken or you're about to take in the month of November, is choosing between your comfort zone versus new adventures that await you. So, even with the imagery on this card, we see this figure, this person who is sitting inside the home looking outside the window. So, this home, this space of comfort, is something which we are used to, and it's always a little bit of difficult change to go through, to leave that comfort zone behind and to step into something new. So if that is a choice or a challenge that you're stuck between, then now might be the time to consider that, is this time for you to step out and truly grow into yourself and into this version of yourself who is not afraid to take risks and who is in control of their life. So for November, I'm seeing that you are entering into this energy where you feel so empowered in your abilities. You feel that you've truly tapped into this full potential within you. So with the two of wands, I'm also seeing this sense of, making a choice to fulfill your dreams, and that can mean that you have to leave behind certain this safety net, so to say, that you have been living in for so long. And now, even though the change might seem a little bit scary, it might be difficult initially, like the initial few moments might be a bit disappointing or challenging, and there's a lot of change and growth happening for you in a very short while. So you have to adjust with all these challenges and these changes. But then, as you're going through this period of change, just remind yourself of all these wonderful opportunities and adventures that lie beyond your comfort zone. And once you've made that choice, once you've stepped into your power, that's when you'll truly realize that you've grown into a new version of yourself. So for some of you, I'm seeing that maybe uh, either you've recently gone through this change of moving to a new location, or maybe you're considering that. And if there has been any fear on some level that this is something that's entirely new for you, that for so long you've just been maybe close to your family, close to your hometown, and that felt like a safety net for yourself and it felt like it truly nurtured you. But now you're scared about doing things all by yourself. So, whenever that fear comes up for you, just remind yourself that even though right now it seems challenging, but what are these amazing opportunities that lie on the other end of this intimidating challenge? Then, with your next card of this Nine of Pentacles with this very bright and vibrant energy, I can see that after this brief period of challenge that comes after having to step outside of your comfort zone, I'm seeing so much of spiritual as well as material and financial abundance that is entering your life. All the hard work that you've put into, all these challenges that you had to undergo, all these changes that you experience now, that is leading into this period where you're feeling so fulfilled, and all your wishes, your desires, they are being manifested, everything that you had been wishing on for so long. And for many of you, I see that this is not just about the recent few weeks or months. It's something that you have been manifesting for so long. And for some of you, it could even be that a goal that you've had for a year or even longer than that is finally coming to fruition, and you are truly tapping into your power. You are getting all the results of your hard work. All of that is being paid off, and that is just confirmed by this Queen of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles being immediately followed by this Queen of Pentacles card tells me that, at least in the aspect of your goals, your desires, your manifestations, whether that has to do with material things, so it could be success, achievement, getting accepted somewhere, maybe it's an academic course or a job that you had been planning to, you've been really wishing upon for a while now, or whether it's just some changes in terms of your lifestyle, that you wanted your life to look a certain way, and for so long you went through this change of stepping outside of the current scenario which was comfortable, and then stepping into this phase of change and uncertainty, and you've really remained strong through all of that. And now in the month of November, all these things are coming to a close, where all these challenges that you had to face, all these changes, they are finally paying off, and you are, like we see this, like the energies here are, you can see the contrast in these energies. On one end, we see this figure who seems a little naive, or who is yet to experience the world, yet to experience what all the world has to offer. And the figure is also sitting in sort of an uncomfortable position, not really settled, being here but then looking outside somewhere else. And this is quite a contrasting energy, where we see this figure in the Queen of Pentacles, the queen, being so satisfied and comfortable in where she is right now. So that's what I'm also seeing for you for the month of November, that now you're finally, it feels like you are in a place where you belong. All your hard work has finally paid off, and you feel so comfortable where you are right now. And now a couple more messages, and take these as they resonate. But the Queen of Pentacles is also a figure who is a healer, who could be a working parent, someone who has been really pouring in all their strength and energy into their family, into the community, someone who has a nurturing heart and this sense of groundedness. So, with the Queen of Pentacles, I'm really seeing this energy of a person who has been working so hard to, it's almost like success in their lives isn't something that's just handed over to them. Rather, they've really worked hard for it. So, I see you, pile number two, being in this energy of that every success or every positive result that you have in your life, it's not just that it magically appeared for you. Rather, you've really worked hard for it, and that really shows in the energies that would be blessing you in the month of November. And there's also a little bit of a duality or a dual message here, where with the Queen of Pentacles, that yes, definitely you are working on your success, your finances, all these material pleasures and the certain lifestyle that you want for yourself. But at the same time, you also have to have a clear head, and you have to remain grounded even with this success, that yes, all your desired manifestations have come true, but then it shouldn't turn you into someone who just keeps focusing on the next goal and then the goal after that, without giving yourself a moment to enjoy the blessings that you have in the present moment. So how can you balance this aspect of fulfilling your ambition, getting your desired results, but also at the same time not losing out on this groundedness? So maybe for the month of November, try to see if you can spend a bit more time in nature, connect with your healing energies, whether it's something as simple as taking a walk outside for a little while, spending some time in nature, or maybe meditation if that's something that you already follow, or if you want to add that practice in your life. And one more message that we see with this Queen of Pentacles is that, like so far you have been pouring all your love, your effort, your energy, your resources into looking after others, and you have been taking care of other people. But now with the the queen, she's also someone who knows her own worth and who also takes care of her own self and sustains herself the same way that she does for others. So if for some of you, if you find yourself that for the past couple of months or years, or just how things have been so far, if you have been in this energy of pouring more into others where you've neglected your own healing or your own sense of groundedness for a while, so now this might also be the time for you to just pour some of that energy back into yourself. And this doesn't mean that you have to neglect those around you, those who are dependent on you, or maybe those who you have to take care of. Rather, it's about being in the sense of feeling reassured that all the care that you've poured into others, everyone else is looked after, they're all taken care of, there is no major difficulty or challenge in their lives, and now you can be at a moment of peace where even your own happiness, your own fulfillment becomes a priority. And interestingly, we have the Queen of Pentacles being followed by the Page of Swords. So this gives me an interesting message here that the queen is someone who has sort of completed a particular cycle in her life, whereas the page is someone who is stepping into this new beginning, this new path, so to say. And with the Page of Swords, for some of you, pile number 2, you might be so like what I was saying here, that maybe if you are a mother, or if you are just someone who has spent a lot of effort and energy so far to just take care of others around you, whether that's your family, your community, or whatever that might be. So now, once that this aspect of your life is at the stage of the queen or the sense of fulfillment, then now can you pour your energies into maybe learning something new for yourself. So there might have been a phase where you had these other responsibilities because of which you couldn't pour your energy into things that you wanted to do. Maybe there is something that you wanted to learn, a course that you want to do, something that you want to start in your professional journey, in your professional life. So now I'm also seeing that you're moving from this aspect of queen to the page. So this is about achieving wholeness, completion in one aspect of our lives, which could be to do with our career, finances, family, community. And now you've taken care of everyone else around you, and now you're coming into this phase of looking after yourself as well. For some of you, maybe this could just be a confirmation. Take this message if it resonates. Maybe you have been thinking about some change in your career or the path that you've been following so far, and you're thinking about teaching of some sort, or just working with other people, or working in a setting where you are able to share your knowledge with others, whether it's a group, a community, a class, or something of that sort. So either in the month of November, you are yourself learning something new, or you could be stepping into a career or a fresh start where you are involved in teaching someone else. So take these messages as they resonate. And with this card, I also see, so first we have this message of a little bit of an unsettled or an unstable ground that you're walking upon. So this could be a new path, and whenever we start walking on a new path, sometimes we might lose focus, or there could be these other distractions around which cloud our mind, or which don't let us see the path ahead very clearly. So make sure that when you are entering this new path, this new phase, you are very careful about who you are interacting with, what kinds of conversations are you having in this new setting, what kind of people are around you, and if there are any distractions that are holding you back from following this path. So for some of you, I also see that for the month of November, so maybe you have been on a path for quite a while, whether that's a career journey or some profession or something that you have been doing for quite a while, and it has been successful, but now you've made this change to learn something else. You've stepped into this role of a student all over again. Maybe everyone else around you is a lot younger than you are, or maybe there is this feeling that you made this decision or this change quite later in your life than others. So for example, you and take this message as it resonates. For maybe some of you, you were a homemaker for quite a while, and now you're starting to step into a new career. And whenever that happens from outside, from the society, that's what I'm getting the message from these birds here, that there might be people around you who are feeding certain things into your mind, that this is not the right step for you, or maybe you're making this decision at the wrong stage in your life. So these are certain thoughts, these certain inputs that you might receive from outside that you need to let go of for a while, or you need to be very focused on your path and remind yourself that it's never too late to start something, to learn something new. It's never too late to be a student and to have a fresh start. So just keep that in mind if you are someone who is stepping into a new path in any aspect of your life. And finally, with the Four of Cups here, there is this little bit of an energy of disappointment, or maybe you had certain expectations about what would lie at the end of this path, but the reality or the way that things have unfolded, it's not making you feel as fulfilled, or maybe the expectations haven't been met a full 100%. So there is a little moment of reflecting back on your decisions so far, looking back at how things have worked for you so far. And with the Four of Cups, I'm also seeing this message of, so as I was saying with the Two of Wands, some of you, you decided to leave your comfort zone and step into a fresh start, a new beginning. And for some of you, you reached a stage of completion in a particular aspect of your life, and then you stepped into learning something new. So whenever we go through these changes in the beginning, it could lead to a moment of, because things are just starting off, so we aren't getting immediate success or immediate results, and that might make us experience a phase of boredom, or just being in this energy where, like, we had a particular outcome or expectation in mind, that we thought that things would turn out in this very idealistic magical way, and we had all these ideas about what that would look like. But when that doesn't happen initially or immediately, we don't get that sense of gratification, so that might lead to a bit of a period of stagnancy, or not being not being fully connected with the reason or the purpose behind choosing that path. So, if you ever find yourself entering that sort of a feeling for the month of November, then just stop for a while and reflect on whether you have truly been appreciating all these changes around you. And with the Four of Cups, we also get this message that with this card, sometimes our attention is only focused on these cups in front of us, or the things that aren't working out in our favor. And when that happens, we forget to appreciate this very bright cup with this positive energy that is right in our periphery, but we're just not looking in that direction. So maybe for the month of November, one thing that can help you is to truly count your blessings, show gratitude for the positive changes that have happened in your life and these new opportunities that have come your way. And now we'll also look at some specific messages about other guidance that's coming for the month of November. So, for the general guidance, we have these two cards, the full moon and the emperor. So, with the full moon, I'm seeing this message of surrender to the divine. So, first of all, the full moon is always about things reaching a stage of completion. We are reaching this stage of fulfillment, and things are working out in our favor. And with the message about surrendering to the divine. So, sometimes what happens is we have a certain path laid out for us, or we've been planning our lives too far ahead, that by this much time, whether that's a 5-year plan or 10-year plan, we visualize for ourselves that this is what our life is going to look like. But sometimes these unexpected changes happen in our life, and it's not always an upward trajectory, but sometimes we have to slow down and come into this energy of what I was saying, moving from the queen to the page. So you've had success, it's been going uphill for a while, but then you need to also have this moment of new learning, new beginnings, fresh starts, and some new reflections. So I'm seeing with this full moon and surrender to the divine that you would be taking a little bit of time in November to also understand this cyclical nature of life, that everything will have its up and its downs as well. And with your next card here for the general messages being the Emperor, I'm also seeing, so you know what I was saying earlier, that so far for your tarot cards that came up, we had a bit of a more leaning towards the divine feminine. So all these energies about nurturing something, birthing a new idea, and then following through that, tapping into our creative potentials, and all of these messages that we had here. And now with the Emperor card, I'm seeing this message of reaching a state of balance where you are tapped into this divine feminine aspect of nurturing an idea, of truly tapping into this spiritual and emotional strength within you, but balancing that with this divine masculine energy, which is about taking firm action, being very decisive. And if you have taken a decision, how can you carry that forward despite the momentary disappointments that might come your way? So, what I'm seeing here is with the Page of Swans, there is a new path that you've chosen, something new that you've decided to step into. But initially, because you're not getting instant results, there might be this sense of disappointment, at least for a while. And with the Emperor, I'm getting this message that yes, your emotions are truly valid and acknowledged, but at the same time, we can't let these minor disappointments hold us back from this big vision or this dream that we have for ourselves. So, how can you balance this energy of honoring your emotions, being tapped with this sense of inner knowing about what's right and what's not right for you, but at the same time also knowing that how can you also look at the bigger picture and the eventual goal that you have in mind, and how can you keep making these efforts to reach there. And because we also have the surrender to the divine, I'm getting this message that there has to be this like holistic balance of your emotions, your actions, but also knowing that no matter how decisive of an action you take, no matter how planned things are, there will always be some scope of uncertainty or just some things which are beyond our control. So then how can we also make sure that we've put in all our efforts from our end, but the rest we've surrendered to the divine? So have a little bit of faith in the universe, in spirit, or whatever else it is that you believe in. And now we'll move to other specific messages that we have for you in terms of your love love life, your connections, your romantic aspects. And for that we have new moon in Taurus as well as the Queen of Swords. So, with the new moon in Taurus, there are a couple of messages here. First of all, the new moon in Taurus is actually happening in the month of November, between the period of November 6th to November 9th, based on whatever location you are in. But overall, I'm seeing that the first week or first couple of weeks of November are going to be significant for you when it comes to love, connection, and relationships. So it could either be that you're meeting a new person within this time period, you're developing a new connection with someone, or maybe you have been talking to someone for a while, there is a potential romantic partner, and now things are just moving into um a period of more communication, getting to know each other, you're taking a step forward in that aspect. Or it could just mean that an existing connection, a committed relationship, you're having a period of heightened sense of communication and getting to know each other on a deeper level. But in any case, November is going to be very significant for you when it comes to your love and relationships. And because this card is about prosperity, which has a lot to do with career matters, but since this is coming up in the question about love, so this could mean two things. One is maybe you are encountering this new partner, this new person in in an area that has something to do with your career. So maybe, you know, what I was saying earlier, that either you are considering to move somewhere else, or you're planning to step outside of your comfort zone to do something new, you're taking a risk, this leap of faith. So maybe you might be encountering this new person through that. Or with this Page of Swords, as I was also saying, that you might be becoming a student once again, you are starting to learn something new, or you are stepping into a different profession, or maybe you already have an established career but you're doing something on the side, so you're meeting someone through that. Or just your career as a whole, your professional life could have an impact on your relationships as well, or maybe how you meet this person. Or on the other hand, this, if you are struggling with issues of worth, maybe that you are not able to feel too confident in yourself, and that could be holding you back from manifesting this desired outcomes in terms of connections, then this is a period to reflect on your own sense of worth and how you see yourself, how you view yourself. And another message that comes with the new moon in Taurus is about the law of attraction. So here I see this message of tapping into this sense of that you can create your desired outcomes, your desired reality. It's just that you have to shift your thoughts and align them with what is it that you want. So then things like affirmations might help you, where you are affirming to yourself that you are worthy, you are confident, and you deserve the best kind of partner who will fulfill all your needs. And since we also have this Taurus sign here, so either you could have Taurus as your sun, moon, or rising, or maybe the person that you're asking about, maybe there's already someone that you're interested in, they could have Taurus as their sun, moon, or rising. Or that could just be an indicator that the person that you're eventually encountering could be someone who, what I was saying earlier, with this sense of groundedness with the Queen of Pentacles. So maybe this person that you're meeting is someone who is very grounded in their own personal life. So that is something that you are learning from this person. This new person who's coming in might be someone who just helps you see the world around you in a new way. And with the Four of Cups here, one thing that I'm also seeing is maybe this new person, this new connection is someone who's right around the corner. It's just that you haven't been seeing this specific person from that perspective, or you've not seen the potential of something developing. So for some of you, take this message as it resonates. It could be that this person with whom you could have a new connection is right around the corner. You just have to see what this person has to offer to you. Then for your love, we also have this Queen of Swords card. So in addition to the sign of Taurus, the air sign could also be significant for you. So either Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So this could either be your sun, moon, or rising signs, or the person that you're asking about or you would be encountering. So the air sign, this is always a person who is pragmatic, who is logical, who is rational. So what we saw in all these divine feminine energies so far, that if you have been very connected or invested with the emotional aspect of things, and you've been seeking the sense of emotional fulfillment and connection, so now that the person that you are encountering, or the changes that are taking place in your relationship, that is something which is giving you a sense of balance, where your emotions are considered, you're feeling fulfilled, and at the same time there is a practical approach to relationships. So one thing, take this message as it resonates, but when we have a new moon, it's about a fresh start and leaving something behind. So maybe some of you might be letting go of a past connection where you you and your partner, or there was this emotional connection, this passion, but then the practicality was lacking, or maybe you didn't have a final goal in mind, or you never had a conversation about where you see this relationship heading, and that led to this sense of disappointment within you because your expectations weren't aligned, or you didn't have this communication. So either in that existing relationship, a communication could be taking place about where you see yourselves heading next, or it could be that you're finally tapping into this sense of what you want, this plan that you have in mind for yourself, and now you might be encountering a new person who is a lot more pragmatic, logical, rational, and with whom you could have this clear sense of communication. And I'm also seeing that if in love and relationships you're trying to manifest a new person, that could be someone who is very logical, very intellectual, and intelligent, someone who is a very good someone who's very good at communication, and you're also going to learn a lot from this person. And with both the Taurus sign as well as the Queen of Swords, I'm getting a very clear message that this person, or the person that you're meeting, or just in this relationship, your potential partner, is not someone who likes things on the surface. Rather, they're someone who really wants deep connections, and there is this deep sense of communication about things that matter, and it really requires even you to enter this phase of tapping into what is it that you truly desire, and then those needs are coming to the surface in this connection. So the month of November, I see it as a very prosperous time for you when it comes to love, relationship, and connections. And now we'll move into some messages about your career for the month of November. So we have these two cards for you. We have the blue moon, believe in the impossible, and we also have the judgment card. So both of these cards give me a very, very bright sign, this bright opportunity that's coming for you when it comes to your career. So, you know what I was saying earlier, that either you're thinking about making this change, about stepping outside of your comfort zone into something new and a new path that you've started working on. So, that's definitely giving you your desired outcomes, your desired results. And even if you are thinking about stepping into something, new course, new learning, anything of that sort, so even there, after this little initial period of boredom, stagnancy, once you push through that and you, at least till the end of November, I see it's going to be a very significant time for you where you experience this deep sense of fulfillment when it comes to your career. And I actually want to start with this judgment card, because this card, I always see this as answering our callings, or finally tapping into what it is that our inner deeper calling has been, or a path or a career that truly fulfills our purpose. So maybe if for the past couple of weeks or months, or even the past year, if you have been in a position where there was this financial success, so Queen of Pentacles, it tells me that you are grounded, you have the financial results that you want, but one thing that was missing was your emotional fulfillment, or it felt like this specific career is only fulfilling your financial needs, but it's not giving you the sense of satisfaction that you are working towards your purpose, towards your deep desire. So maybe this could just be a message about now you are stepping into something where it's not just financial abundance that you're experiencing, the sense of prosperity, but you are also feeling fully satisfied in whatever path it is that you've chosen. And now the blue moon card. So as this, as the saying goes, that once in a blue moon. So I'm seeing that in terms of your career, there's an opportunity coming forth for you that is going to be just a very rare opportunity, a once in a blue moon opportunity that you just can't miss out on. And that might actually be this, what I was saying with this Four of Cups, that right now, the path that you're on right now, maybe it's not making you feel fully accomplished. And once you develop this attitude of gratitude and fully counting your blessings in the present moment and widening your perspective, then maybe you'll see this bright new opportunity that is just around the corner. And make sure that in the month of November, you are paying very close attention to what these new opportunities around you might be, because there could be something very significant that is a rare situation, or maybe it's something where you get very less time to decide whether you should follow that path or not. And with both of these cards, the blue moon and the judgment coming together, I'm seeing that that rare opportunity, that opportunity with the limited time frame, is going to be something immensely beneficial for you. It might be something that is connected with your deep sense of purpose. It feels like a higher calling, and it might be something again, you have to see if this message resonates intuitively, and you have to follow your own inner guidance and your free will. But then this card says believe in the impossible. So maybe on the surface it might look like something is there is uncertainty around that situation, or you don't know if a specific path in terms of your career will actually be beneficial for you in the long run, and there could be a risk involved here. And that element of risk and taking a leap of faith is something that I've seen constantly in your reading with the Two of Wands and even with the Page of Swords, that yes, there is comfort in the current path, in the current situation, but then this question of what else could lie beyond what you're used to right now, and what else could be out there. And I'm seeing that there is this very bright opportunity around you, and this blue moon card also confirms that. So yes, follow your rationality, be pragmatic, and take decisions with this logical mind. But then also, there might be just some things that we can't predict unless we've stepped into that path. So, if there is an opportunity that comes your way and you intuitively feel that this is meant for me or I am meant to take it, then make sure that you don't miss out on that, because that could very well be connected with your path ahead. And one more message with the blue moon here. So, even though this reading is about the month of November, but one thing that I'm seeing is a decision that you were taking in the month of November could have an impact on the next year, or when we actually have this blue moon appearing, which is around August of 2023. So maybe you have an opportunity right now which fully manifests in August, or you maybe decide to take on a path right now in November and it's reaching its full stage of success in August of next year. Or maybe there is, for example, a course that you want to apply for and you might be traveling for that. Like, you apply and you start the process in November itself, but the actual step of moving to that place for that course could happen in August of next year. So again, take these messages as they resonate, but I'm definitely seeing this bright new once in a blue moon opportunity coming for you in the month of November. And that is something which will reach its stage of fulfillment, or just this final outcome of that situation might be happening in the month of August next year. And now we look into this final card, which is the riddle. And the riddle card is always about what I was saying. It actually connects with what I was saying with the blue moon card here, that in any situation, in any question that you're asking, there is certain amount of certainty to it, that you can predict the outcome. There are things that you can control, and that's what leads to your desired outcomes. But there will always be this mysterious, this hidden, this uncontrollable aspect of that situation. So make sure that you're not believing that all the outcomes can be fully 100% predicted. There is always sometimes the sense of mystery, the sense of wonder, or sometimes things just take their own mysterious turns and we're not able to predict it. So make sure that you have that element also alive within you. And also with the riddle, sometimes we feel that every question will have a direct right yes or no answer. So maybe if you are asking about a specific career path, something, some option that you're considering, or you are currently in this two of wands stage where you are asking if you should follow this particular path or not, if you should take that opportunity, and maybe that's an answer that you were seeking for in this reading. So instead of being a very clear yes or no, it's rather about what is your intuitive sense of what feels like the right answer. Or maybe in some situations, we can't know an answer is right or wrong unless we've pursued that path, we've put in that effort to go along that journey. So especially in terms of the career opportunity, I'm seeing that if there is an option that right now seems very uncertain and you're not sure if it's going to give you the desired results, then it's less about whether that is the perfect, the right opportunity for you, and it's more about how can you yourself make the most out of it. How can you make sure that your efforts are aligned with the outcomes that you're thinking of, and that you're honoring your own purpose as you follow this path. And same goes for your connections as well. Maybe you've recently experienced a sense of loss, or an old connection that has died down, and now you're uncertain about this new person, this new situation. So instead of seeking for this right answer, can you tap into your own intuition to see what feels intuitively right? Or maybe sometimes when we're asking about relationships and connections, we forget that in life, as our journey goes, maybe there's no right, we have this notion of the one, or a person who is truly meant for us. And we always, this idealistic idea of a soulmate, this one true person meant for us, and yes, that might be true, and there might be this one person who's destined for us. But at the same time, we cannot negate the impact that these other relationships have on us, on whatever they teach us. So instead of trying to be very caught up in this idea of just being with the one or the person who's meant for you, being also open to these other encounters, these other relationships, what are they meant to teach you. And one more thing with the riddle, the riddle card here is sometimes we are trying to see things around us in a very literal way, and obviously we need this sense of practicality in our lives, we need to plan certain things, but then, as I've also been emphasizing throughout this reading, that there are certain elements which are beyond our control, and we can't ever truly know how it's going to end. And on some level we have to give up this idea of excessive control or being too scared to follow a path until we know for sure what lies at the end of it. So the main message that I'm seeing here is take that risk, take that path which intuitively feels right for you, even though you're not able to logically explain to yourself why that answer is right. And with again the surrender to the divine, you need to have a little bit of faith in the universe, and instead of asking this question that what is the right path for me, trying to align yourself with this idea that whatever path you walk on is the right path, because that is where you are in the present moment, and the outcome, the final destination, that's never certain, or it keeps changing based on the paths that you keep taking. So there is no right answer in this situation. It's just that based on your efforts, your energies, you can make any path, any situation be the right thing for you. And that's something that you need to remind yourselves. And once you've experienced this element of surrender, of letting go, of understanding that there's no one single right answer, that's when this, this magic of the blue moon, believe in the impossible, that's going to happen for you. So pile number 2, this is where I'm going to end your reading, and wishing you all a very blessed and prosperous month of November ahead. Thank you so much for joining this reading. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if this reading resonated. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, all the details are in the description box below. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye bye. Hello, and welcome to your reading pile number 3. In today's reading, we're looking at all the blessings coming for you in the month of November, and then some specific messages for love and career. So make sure to stay till the end to see all your messages. And remember, this is a reading for the collective, so take only the messages that resonate, and all details about booking a personal reading with me are in the description below. So, Spirit, what messages, what guidance do we have for pile number 3? What are the blessings coming for pile number 3 for the month of November? What changes? What blessings? What can pile number 3 expect for the month of November? All right, pile number 3. So, what I can see in your tarot cards is, first of all, we have two major arcana cards here, the Justice and the Sun. So, this gives me the sense of major changes, spiritual lessons that are coming your way for the month of November. And overall, it's going to be a really prosperous time for you, of a lot of learning, a lot of growth that you are experiencing in this month of November. And starting off with the Two of Wands. So, actually, this card was present in the pile 2 as well, so maybe if that was something that you were drawn to, maybe you could also check out pile number 2 after you've watched this reading. But what I see here with the Two of Wands is, this is always a moment where so maybe this is something that's already happened for you or is going to happen for the month of November, is you are in a comfort zone and you're looking outside the window. You're looking for all these adventures, these opportunities beyond your comfort zone, or everything else that lies ahead. And you might be in a period of making a decision between either staying within this comfort zone, within what is comfortable at the moment, or taking this leap of faith, this risk that might be involved, and stepping into new opportunities, new adventures. And actually, it's interesting that your reading is starting with the Two of Wands and ending with the Knight of Wands. So this is a very clear message for me that if there is a recent change that has taken place in your life. So maybe you've moved to a new location, you've stepped into a new relationship, you've started a new job, a new course of study, or any new change, a new venture that you've started. So whatever this change has been for you, even though initially it might have been a bit challenging because you had to encounter these different changes, but I'm definitely seeing that by the end of November, it's going to feel like all your wishes are coming true. You are having this sense of celebration, this moment of joy. And as I'll also come to the sun card, there's definitely this very bright energy that you're encountering for the month of November. So just have a bit of faith, have this sense of courage to go through this initial period of challenge, and then all your positive outcomes are coming your way. The next card that we have for you is Justice, and I see this imagery as this yin and yang sort of a symbol, that we have these brighter energies and then we also have the darkness to it. So one main message, one main challenge or blessing for you for the month of November is to balance this aspect of good and the bad. So one thing that I'm seeing is maybe in the past, so there this message is twofold, take it as it resonates. For some of you, maybe in the past there is an action that you took, whether that was in terms of your connections, your relationships, friendships, or maybe a career move that you made, or maybe in the past there is some failure that you experienced and you've been blaming yourself a lot over it, or you've been blaming yourself for not putting in the right efforts, not giving enough time to a specific connection, or not being fully there for a person, or just these general feelings of guilt or regret that you're experiencing. So with the Justice card, one message that I'm seeing is now in the month of November, take this time to forgive yourself for the past actions. Remind yourself that it's obviously very important to take accountability of your actions, of your mistakes that you might have made, but that doesn't mean that just that aspect of the shadow aspect of yourself, the, as we say, the yin and yang, the balanced energies. So you can't take just the negative and see that as something that fully defines you, because you are a holistic person. You will have your own light and shadow aspect. So if there is any form of guilt that you have been carrying about how you have been in the past, the decisions that you've taken in your relationships, if maybe any hurt that you've caused to someone else. So, right now, first of all, it's time to obviously take accountability, do all that you have to repair the situation in any way that you can, but then also to eventually move into this phase of acceptance and self forgiveness, and then see how you can see yourself in a holistic way, that there might be mistakes that you've committed, but then what are these right actions that you took when you were there for someone else, when you did follow the right path or the right action towards your desired outcomes. And as I said, this is a twofold message, so maybe this could have been on your end, and for some of you, pile number 3, this could have been someone else's action. So maybe someone else has there is something wrong that they did towards you, or it could be within a relationship, within a connection, within friendship, within something in your professional relationships, or just someone externally has done something wrong towards you. There is some sense of resentment that you're carrying towards someone else. And again, even with this message, it's not just about blindly forgiving someone else or just giving them another chance and letting them off the hook easily without the other person actually taking accountability of their own actions. Rather, this message here is about how can you also see that person, that situation in a holistic manner, that yes, there were mistakes, or that person, that situation, it had its own shadow elements, but what was right in that situation, what was right in that person. And again, take this message as it resonates, and um, it doesn't even have to be that you have to look at the light aspects of that person or situation. Sometimes it's just better to, like with this sword, to cut off that situation, that person from our lives. If it didn't if it wasn't for our highest good, or it was causing us harm, then definitely follow your intuition, your free will, and cut that connection off from your life, that situation off from your life, and walk away from it. But if it is a situation where you intuitively feel this sense of repairing it in any way, or if you've been yourself wanting to forgive that person, then only in that situation, it's time to also look at that person, that situation in a holistic way. So follow your own inner guidance, follow this message of balance, whether it's something wrong that has been done on your end or on someone else's end. Is this time to seek forgiveness or either give forgiveness to someone else? And if you are not in that energy, then what is that situation that you need to cut off, that you need to let go of in this situation? And just the overall message here with the justice is that now that this period of difficulty is over, now we're moving into the stage of the sun. So, what is it that this entire situation has taught us, whether it was something positive, something negative, something ugly, whatever that is that we experienced? What is it that you've gained from it now, and what is that lesson that you can carry forward from this situation? And obviously, give yourself the time to heal, to rest, and a moment of pause if you need after these difficult, challenging situations. And once you've given yourself enough time to process, then moving on to the stage of what can you take from it, and then moving on to this very bright, prosperous energy of the sun. So, now with the sun, one clear message here is that anything that you've been trying to manifest, your dreams, your goals, are finally coming to fruition. It's a big yes card when it comes to the outcomes that you're asking about. It's all going to be in your favor. It's going to be a time of a lot of brightness, of you being able to use your creative energies. You're experiencing success, abundance, positivity, and it's also a positive message for love. And remember, we'll also be looking at the specific messages in love and career towards the end. But overall, with the sun, I'm seeing a very bright moment of all your wishes finally coming to fruition. You're experiencing this harmony of abundance, prosperity, positivity coming your way. It's going to be a very blissful time. And I'm also seeing that if you have personally been in this energy of not feeling too confident about yourselves, whether that is because of this regret that you're carrying about your own actions or mistakes from the past, or maybe it's because of the unjust ways in which other people have treated you, and that could have affected your esteem, your sense of worth. But now I'm seeing that November is going to be a time of a lot of healing for yourself, where you truly tapping into your power, your own brightness, your own potential, and you are seeing how truly fulfilled you can be when you've truly tapped into your power. And I'm seeing so much of this brightness coming your way for the month of November. And I'm also seeing, what I was saying earlier with the yin yang energy in this justice card, the bright and the light and the shadow aspect. With the sun, I'm seeing that now you're truly seeing yourself in a more holistic way. There is a sense of acceptance about who you are, and you're seeing yourself in a whole holistic manner, that there's no one single trait or action of yours that can define you as a whole. You are this whole person, and you are allowed to make mistakes as long as you're learning from them. You are taking all the desired steps to move on from that mistake, to not repeat those cycles again. And I'm seeing that you are definitely stepping into this phase of fully accepting yourself, and also realizing this immense potential that is there within you. But one word of caution that we see here with the Four of Swords is it's also time to, when you have gone through a difficult experience, then you also need to give yourself a little break, a little time to connect with your own energies, to connect with your own heart. For the month of November, there is at least the initial few weeks, based on whenever you're watching, at least the initial time is going to be a phase where you're not taking very immediate actions. Rather, you're just giving yourself a bit of time to connect with yourself, to, like in this card, we see just coiled in your own comfort zone within this bubble, and you're repairing your heart based on the damages that have taken place so far, so that you're prepared to step into the next chapter of things. So I'm seeing that at least for a while you're pouring that energy only into yourself and not really into someone else. But as this initial period of healing is over, as you've processed it, I'm seeing that then you're moving into this phase of, like, it's almost a contrasting energy that we have a period where things are going a bit slower, things are not really focused externally outwards, but rather to yourself. There's an inward focus, and then it's almost like an expansion taking place where you are entering into this period of so much joy and celebration, and like this bright energy of tapping into your power, and just this fiery energy that we get with the Knight of Wands card. This card always gives this message of passion and pursuing your dreams, taking action towards something. And it's truly about following your dreams. So what is it, what we saw with the Two of Wands, that you are in a comfort zone, you, at least for a little while, you are in this space of healing, staying in your own bubble, in your own comfort zone. But as you were, when you were in this Two of Wands phase, whether that's something that's in the past or you are currently in this energy, then what are these dreams, what are you seeing outside the window beyond the horizon? What are these new opportunities that are calling you, and any dreams that you have, any path that you want to follow? With the Knight of Wands, I'm seeing that you're truly walking down that path, you're taking all the action to bravely pursue this dream of yours, this passion project that you've had in mind. And with the, because we have this imagery of this instrument here, maybe for some of you there is a path to do with music or learning an instrument, singing, something of that sort, or it could be just any creative pursuit in general. I'm seeing that you are finally tapping into that gift within you, this talent that you possess, and now you are connecting with this thing that gives you so much joy. And with this card, I also see this sense of freedom, that you're not afraid to follow a path, you're not afraid to take a certain choice and then go ahead with that. This imagery of the horse that we have on this card, that just galloping forward in a path that you've chosen. So now I'm seeing the sense of freedom, the sense of openness that you're aligning with. And this card also gives me the message of flow. Whenever we are in a state of flow, that's when we almost experience this sense of like we don't connect with this sense of time. Like, if you are doing something that truly fills you with passion, then you won't even realize how much time has passed since you've been doing that, whether that's something creative or something to do with your professional life, your hobbies, whatever it is. So I'm really seeing that for the month of November, this aspect of creativity, this idea of flow, truly tapping into yourself, is going to be a major blessing that's coming your way. And now we look at some other specific messages. So I have these cards for you for some general messages for the month of November. For you, pile number 3, we have full moon in Cancer and strength. So for these general messages, first of all, with the full moon is always about a completion of a cycle. This card here says a personal issue reaches resolution. So with this card here, I can see that there is this idea of resolution. So if there is one clear message that I'm getting for some of you with this justice card again here is, maybe you were involved, and this might only apply for some of you, but maybe there was a legal situation that you were involved in where the justice system was involved. So maybe for that, I'm seeing that you are getting your desired outcomes, you are getting justice, like very literal, in a very literal sense, that the justice system is rewarding you for what's right, and then you are getting the desired outcomes. That could be a situation that's reaching resolution. And for some of you, what I said about either you or someone else in a situation has committed a mistake, or there was something wrong that happened, now I'm seeing that the situation is reaching resolution. And it could be different for or different people who have chosen this pile. For some of you, this resolution could mean that that specific connection, that situation is ending, and you are moving away from it, because the full moon is always about about releasing something, letting go of something. And for others, this resolution could be about that you're reaching this stage of forgiveness, either seeking or giving forgiveness, and then moving into a new chapter of that connection. And once you're doing that, just make sure that all these previous patterns of any previous patterns that didn't serve you are that's something that you're letting go of, and that's not something that's being repeated in this new chapter. And the full moon in Cancer is actually also quite an emotional sign. So sometimes this could mean that there is a particular issue, an aspect where things are reaching to their emotional extreme, like there are heightened emotions. So that could be to do with this connection where forgiveness is required, or maybe you're cutting something off. So this could be a very emotionally heightened period, and that's why we also have this strength card here, which always talks about being connected to this sense of strength within us that can help us power through even through the most difficult circumstances, most difficult situations. And the strength card also it's connected with the Leo energy. So if you are a Leo sign, or if the person that's involved in this situation has the Leo sign, either sun, moon, or rising, then this could just be a confirmation that this resolution is soon about to enter your life. And one more message with the strength card is it's connected to the solar plexus chakra, which has to do with our self-esteem, this I factor within us, which means that your own abilities, your own worth, your own confidence. So make sure that you are not letting another person take you for granted, or they're not basically taking your power away from you. So you have to take your power back. You have to connect with your own sense of esteem. And this card is also about this the full moon in Cancer is also about sensitivity, or just this need for emotional sensibility that is needed in a situation. And it's interesting that it has come up with the strength card, because in the traditional rider waite imagery, the 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 image of strength there is a little bit different, because in the traditional rider waite we don't have this the sense of violence or fighting as strongly as we have in this particular deck. Rather, in the traditional Rider Waite deck, the imagery is about using your gentleness a bit more. But here we see things getting a little bit more fiery, a little bit more violent, and that's telling me that that could be something to be aware of in this specific situation. That when you are seeking justice, when you are fighting against a situation, a person, whatever that is not been helpful for you, so how can you stay rooted in your power? Make sure that you are not letting another person take you for granted, but at the same time you have to do that in an emotionally sensible manner, so that you're also not causing too much hurt or harm to the other person. Like, your goal here should be about your own, as I was saying with this card, personal issue reaches resolution. So remember that you are not fighting against that specific person or situation, rather, you're fighting for your own sense of resolution, for being able to come out of this situation and then to lead your life moving forward, after that. Because if your aim is to defeat the other person, then it won't really give you this true sense of satisfaction once that situation is over. So just remind yourself that what matters is not defeating other person, rather your own sense of victory after you've gone through the situation. And now we'll move at some specific messages that I've pulled out for you for love. For pile number 3, we have, all right, we have these very bright messages of a new moon and the lovers that has come up for you. So both of these cards are, if you have been asking whether you will have a new connection or your existing connection will move into a new chapter for the month of November, it's a big yes card. And again, with the new moon, it clearly says that a new start is coming. So this could just be a very clear confirmation that if you have been trying to manifest a new beginning in your love life, then that's definitely happening for you, and it's just further confirmed by the lovers card. So I see a very bright, prosperous connection entering your life. This new relationship, which is going to make you feel very fulfilled, and you will be in this energy of your wishes coming true, what you have been trying to manifest that's finally happening. And this definitely, I see this as something that's not coming in like very quickly in the month of November. Rather, it's going to take its own time to manifest, because we also have the full moon in November in the second week on 8th of November. So I see that as happening only in the second or third or maybe in the last week of November. So, and that little bit of a delay is happening just because this past situation has to resolve itself. There's a resolution that has to happen, and only then can your energies be cleared up for this new beginning to take place. And one more very clear message here is, make sure to give yourself this period of rest that we see in the Four of Swords, that you are coming back to yourself, connecting to your own energies. You're allowing your heart to heal from this difficult situation in the past, and then you will be encountering this very bright, positive connection, which seems to be divinely guided, because we have this Lover's card here with the support of angels. There is this divine guidance. You are looked after in this connection. And the new moon, it also talks about. Obviously there is a new start, but then whenever we enter this new moon energy, this new start, it can only be fully prosperous once you've let go of all the past energy. So make sure that you have allowed yourself to move on from the previous hurt, previous connections, previous relationships, heartbreak, whatever it is that you've experienced, and then you feel the sense of openness to welcome this new beginning. And it's also like, almost this message of a clear state that you're starting afresh. Everything that wasn't serving you is left behind. And one thing that I'll definitely suggest with this new moon card is to, if you already practice affirmation, manifestations, things like that, then I would definitely recommend you to keep doing that for the month of November in terms of your love, your partnerships, your connections. And if not, then you might also benefit from this practice of scripting, where you just set down certain intentions about what you want your love life, your ideal partner to look like, what do you want their personality traits to be, what do you want to learn from that connection, how do you want to grow within that connection. And you write that from a future perspective. You have this future date in mind, and then you write in the present tense as if you've already achieved what you're writing about. So that is one thing that can definitely help. And just in general, if you don't find the time to do these practices, just at the start of the month of November, or whenever you happen to watch this reading, just set out a clear intention for this month, that what is it that you want to manifest in terms of your love life, and things will definitely turn out in your favor. And one important sign, so first we saw Leo, and with the Lovers, we also see the Gemini sign. So that could be an important sign for you. It could either be your sun, moon, or rising sign, or about the person that you're asking about, or someone who could be entering your life. And finally, for those of you who are already in a committed relationship, this new start could just mean either you have been dating for a while and now you're making the relationship a bit more official, or you are getting engaged or married, or you're deciding to have a child. So whatever it is, I see you entering a new chapter in your relationship, or just a fresh new beginning where the past hurt, past resentment, all of that is being processed, and now you're moving into a more refreshed, renewed energy when it comes to your relationships. And finally, we also have these two cards for you for career in terms of energies for the month of November. So for you, we have the disseminating moon and the moon card coming here together. So, the disseminating moon, this card says, take time to breathe out. And even the moon card here. So, one major message that I'm seeing in terms of career for you, pile number three, is you need to take a little bit of time to reflect on how the journey has been so far. So, what I was seeing here with the Four of Wands, that Four of Swords, so it's that trying to recuperate, trying to gain your energy back after a difficult period. And even with the Two of Wands, we saw that you might be in this period of decision making about where you are currently. And you know, we have this imagery of the globe and this like vehicle that's drawn here. So maybe you are considering about moving somewhere else, applying for something, a new path that you are about to walk on. So before that change happens, there has to be this period of reflection to make sure that you have um, that you are not taking this decision out of impulsivity, or you are experiencing this sense of rush that you need to have a proper plan, you need to take an action before a certain period of time. Make sure that you are fully ready before you step into this new chapter, because it can definitely be challenging when you are leaving this period of comfort zone behind and moving into something entirely new. So that could be challenging, so make sure that you are like physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you're fully prepared and ready for this new change to happen and this new change to take place. And that this period of November could be when you give yourself that time for reflection. And this card that I explained earlier, the Knight of Wands, could be about the energies towards the end of the month. So once you have given yourself this period of rest and reflection, then towards the end of the month is when you would be fully prepared to walk towards your passions, to take this decision towards what you want to do. And because we have the disseminating moon and the moon, both of these cards coming together, I'm getting a very strong message that at least for the initial period of November, there isn't going to be a major change, or this period of action is not happening very quickly for you, rather towards the latter half of it, or maybe after November has ended. And it's only because, like the disseminating moon, this is a period that happens after the full moon. So once the moon has reached its full potential, its full brightness, that's when it starts disseminating, and um it starts to, like, eventually, once again begin to move towards the stage of the new moon. So what I'm seeing in terms of your career specifically is, right now there is going to be a period of reflection where you are looking at how things have been so far, whether you are fully satisfied with the path you are on right now, and if there are any changes that have to be made. And that's why I see this Four of Swords as a very significant message to have this period of rest. And one more message that I see with this card is, sometimes we have this sense of timeline in our minds that by a certain time or a certain stage we should have accomplished something, achieved something. And if our actual life trajectory doesn't follow that path, then it leads to a sense of disappointment, or we start comparing our lives timeline to someone else's. So maybe someone else is doing a lot more by a certain period than we are, and we feel the sense of that, our life isn't progressing at the right speed. And that's when we need to remind ourselves that everyone has their own period of growth. Their life goes, like, all of our lives goes on in cycles, but then it might be on a different pace as compared to someone else. So make sure that first of all you're not comparing yourself to anyone else. And one statement or an affirmation that can help you is, I am where I am and it's okay. So just telling yourself that wherever you are, that's the right point in your life at that moment. You can obviously keep making changes to reach a better stage, to be somewhere else, but that can only happen once you feel truly fulfilled and you feel you accept where you are in life right now. And also remind yourself that there's no perfect timing at which life is supposed to progress. So it's not really about how much have you accomplished by a certain stage or a certain point, rather how much have you learned from it, how much have you grown from that specific situation, that specific phase in your life. So make sure that you are connecting with that. And but here there's also a word of caution that yes, we have to accept where we are in life right now, not compare ourselves to others, but then that shouldn't lead to this period of stagnation, or just being complacent with where we are and not taking any efforts to move forward. So how can you be balanced, how can you be grounded in this sense that yes, you are accepting where you are, you're not comparing your life to anyone else, but at the same time you're also taking time to reflect on what steps have to be taken next, what is this period of action that you need to step into. And that's why I want to pull out these two cards again, that yes, the Four of Swords and the Knight of Wands can often be very contradictory energies, because in Four of Swords we're talking about pausing for a while, resting for a little bit. And then the Knight is all about fiery passion, action, and things like that. So, how can you be in a balance between both of these states, that you're giving yourself the time to reflect, but then you've also used that period of pause to then plan out what actions have to be taken next, and make sure you don't fall into a slump, or you don't become too comfortable with where you are right now. So yes, rest within this, I see this almost as a figure of a nest and this comfort zone that I was talking about with the Two of Wands. But then also remind yourself that this isn't some place that you have to stay. You have to eventually leave the nest. You have to take this risk, this move, and then move into brighter energies. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of your career. And the final message, this card that you chose, pile number three, for you we have this mother card. And it's interesting that I was just talking about the imagery of the nest, and that's something that we see repeated in the mother card as well. So there are a couple of messages here with the mother card. First of all, it could be something that directly connects with your mother, some female figure in your life, or just some family matters in general. So take the message as it resonates, but overall this archetype as a whole talks about some idea that we have, some paths that we want to follow, this idea, this seed that we have planted, and we want to nurture it. But sometimes with the mother archetype, with this card, there is this duality of a message that yes, there is something that we're trying to nurture, we're trying to protect, we're trying to do all we can to get our desired outcomes. But then if you also see closely, there's also this imagery of the snake around in addition to the nest. So sometimes this energy of wanting to nurture something could turn into the shadow element of being overprotective. So how can you reach a stage where you are pouring all your love and effort into the situation that you're asking about, or what you're experiencing in the month of November, and you are seeing it grow, you're seeing it nurture and turn into something beautiful, but at the same time you're not trying to control it too much, or you're not trying to have this sense of control over every aspect of that thing. So, for example, what I was saying earlier with the career aspect, that right now there is this need of a time to pause and to reflect on how things have been so far, and what changes have to be made, what do you need to do within this period before you can take action again. So make sure that while you're in that phase of pause and planning, you don't enter this period of thinking that you just by planning you can control every single outcome that's going to happen, because there will always be this element of uncertainty, some things that just are going to be beyond your control. So how can you reach the stage of balance where this mother archetype is balanced, that yes, you are doing all that you can to plan, to make sure that you are protected on your path moving forward, but then don't hold on too tightly to that plan that you have in mind. Because when we hold on very tightly to the plan that we have in mind, and if even a single thing goes, it's is not according to plan, or there's any uncertainty or sudden change that we encounter, that's when we can become very disheartened, and we can lose hope in that situation. So how can you make yourself strong enough that no matter what change you encounter, you still have this ability to hold on to this idea, to this vision that you have in mind, and you are also a little bit flexible with these changes that might take place. One more message that I'm getting here is that if you are in a connection, and maybe either you or the person that you are asking about, or the person you're going to encounter, might be in this phase of healing, and healing is never a linear journey, it has its own ups and downs. So make sure that you, like, if you personally are someone who really likes to be there for the people that within your connections, you like to be there for other people, you might even like to be there for them, provide solutions for them, or help them through these difficult circumstances, and this nurturing energy that we see with the mother archetype. So make sure that you're also balancing that with this realization that yes, you can be there to help someone else, but it's finally up to that other person to go through their own phase of healing, to take their own actions to also grow and learn and develop, that yes, you can be there for someone else, but it's finally up to them to who has to go through the healing journey themselves. So make sure that if you are with someone, or if that's something that you've encountered in relationships, or maybe if it has been a past pattern where you have always overextended yourselves to be there for someone else, to provide healing to someone else, and that's something that nurtures you as well in return, then it might just be a period of reflection for you to see that, are you putting your partners, or even if it's within friendships, then are you putting that person's healing, their fulfillment, their well-being over yours in any way? Because with the mother archetype, there's definitely this nurturing energy that we see, but sometimes the mother could also compromise her own well-being just to nurture her children. So make sure that you are in this energy of balance, where you're pouring your love and nurturing energy into a person, into a connection, but then you're also giving them the space to go through the journey by themselves, while you're there just as a healing presence for them, but you can never do the work for them. And even in terms of the career aspect, I'm seeing that, um again, the message of the nest that I was talking about, that yes, we all need our period of rest, we need to be in this energy of this comfort zone that sustains us. And the nest isn't just that, um when we are young, or when we are in that phase of learning, that we are in that comfort zone, and once we fly away from that, we never come back to it. Rather, this nest or this comfort zone could be a place where you keep returning to, that you take um decision, you take a leap of faith, you enter into this world of uncertainty and challenges, but then eventually you also know that there is this space that you could return to. If you ever feel too stressed out or too many changes happening, you can rest for a while, as we see with this four of swords, and then again, after you feel rejuvenated enough, that's when you can step out and make these changes again. So these are the messages that I'm seeing for you, pile number 3. Overall, there is a lot of growth, a lot of changes, and a balance of rest and action, and a period of reflection that I'm seeing for you. Uh, this even this prosperous, loving connection, some issue, something is reaching the stage of resolution, you are tapping into this strength within you, and overall there is something that you're giving birth to, some idea that you are seeing reach its full potential. So just make sure that you are this overall sense of balance that I'm seeing, the yin yang message that we started off with. So make sure this aspect of balance is something that you are truly tapped into for the month of November. So these were the messages for you, pile number 3. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if these messages resonated. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, all the details are in the description box below. Have a very happy, prosperous, and month of November, which is full of growth and learning for you. So, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next reading. Bye bye.